usually people are really confused by outstaffing versus outsourcing versus team augmentation. So
Yes.
let's clear those three,
Yes.
and then we will continue.
Okay. So team augmentation. When I say team augmentation, it means usually that there is a team in place already, and this can be at the end clients. It can come from a local IT company, or it can be a combination of both. And they need some talent, something that's missing from the team.
Yeah.
So this is normally team augmentation. These guys become part of a team that already exists, and they also treat it as part of the team. This is especially with Nordic clients. Teams tend to be very inclusive, so it's not like, okay, you're in Bulgaria, you handle these Jira tickets, we don't want to talk to you. It's not like that. They really are part of the team, and this is a very big part of the business.
Yep.
Also because more and more of the IT related things are at the core of a company's business, which means that they need to have know-how internally, which means that they know what they want. Then we also have cases where the client has a similar model, but they're looking for an entire team. But the team is led by the client's management. So there might be a product owner, there might be a technical product owner. In some cases, there might be CTO type of a role or technical lead. Sometimes it's just the product owner. Then outsourcing, I think it's like an umbrella team for buying services from outside. But then the other term where I kind of draw a clear differentiation. So we have staff augmentation, and then kind of on the other end of the scale, we have end-to-end, meaning that we are that the company is there to solve a business problem rather than IT problem. Of course, very often there is a certain IT context. So if the client is doing SAP, and they want to start using SAP Commerce modules or HR modules or something like that. So it is very much an IT challenge as well. But in terms of selling it, communicating about it, running it, it is end-to-end. And then within end-to-end, you have projects that are fixed in scope, fixed in price, which these days are not so common anymore. And then kind of the more standard industry model these days is we bill by the hour. So time and material.
Time and material, the so-called, So we have outsourcing, the umbrella term. I think every time you introduce a tier, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, the dynamic between the tiers can be called outsourcing. Then we have outstaffing and team augmentation and staff augmentation. I believe we can put them in one basket. Where, for example, we as Hacksoft, we have some talent here. Then a certain client comes and says, "Hey, we already have teams, but we are lacking these 3 particular positions.
Yes.
So can you help us staff that, fill those gaps?" And our folks are effectively joining and working for the client, and they're being managed and led by the client, filling those gaps. Then we have what Timo mentioned, the end-to-end solution where, for example, a client comes and says, "Hey, I have this business problem.
Yes.
Can you help me solve it?" I don't really care how the team is going to look like. You negotiate on some kind of a budget, and then you start executing. And in this particular bracket, you can include fixed projects where, "Hey, I have this specification. Can you give me a price?" And then you start executing. And then when you give a final price to the client usually don't care how many people are going to be working on the project at all. They care about the outcome. And those are like the modes of working. And then I think all of those modes of working are kind of, if we talk about the business side, how do you price and how do you charge the clients? Then it comes the term time and material. I was always confused by this, like why time and material. But how I understand it is you have hourly rates for different people or different positions, and then the work that you do, you track those hours, and then at the end of the month you have a timesheet, you sum up everything and you issue an invoice for the total number. And I believe this is the default way of doing business in the IT service industry all over the world. And this is how people usually, if someone is fishing for a price or looking for if something's going to fit within their budget, what you discuss with the clients, and for example, this is from our experience, the clients, they usually ask what are your rates. Like,
Yes,
this is the question.
unfortunately,
When we
yes.
start talking about money, they ask what are your rates. And